Right, guys, welcome for part two, based on the subject of burnout. So, if you haven't checked yet my first video when I was talking about how can you first of all identify that you are going through your burnout season and what burnout is truly about. I shared that in my first video, my previous video about this series. I was saying that I may do a part three, but let's see how this video is gonna go, okay? So let's start with the following up of what I was mentioning in my previous video. And in this module, we are mostly going to talk about and going deeper on what actually is happening when life feels heavy, when you feel unfulfilled, confused, when you are in a place of, like you are not aligned with God assignment, because this is what it's all about. And this is what I notice is like many women assume feeling lost mean they have somehow wandered away from God, but often feeling lost is God gently moving you towards your next assignment. Okay. And I was mentioning in my previous video that it's God whispering through this burnout season that it's time to level up. He's elevating you to a new realms of the spirit, and he really wants you to move from this place of where you are right now to a place where there is basically rest. There is, like a peace. There is love. There is comfort. There is divine protection. There is the divine himself. Okay. And this is what I'm planning to share with you in this second part of how to basically fight burnout. Not say fight, but I will say how to first of all apprehend burnout and how to face burnout and understand, most importantly, because I think the most important part is actually to have full understanding of what is burnout. So then when you have a full understanding, you can first of all measure it in your life and then do something about it wisely. Okay, so I share more about what is burnout in my first video. So if you haven't actually had the time yet to look at or watch my first video, I encourage you to go and watch this video right now. All right, so let's go and let's move on. So I'm gonna move this away. So when fulfillment drain out of what's once work. And this is truly like my work right now. I really help, women who at some point in their life, they really enjoy what they used to do. They really enjoy, their job. They enjoy their business. They enjoy the situation they used to be in, but no longer. It's not longer the case, okay? Fulfillment truly drained out and now is not working for them. On the contrary, is controlling them, right? This situation is controlling them where they feel like there is something missing and they can basically tap into their potential, but they don't really know how. So many women begin their career or season energized, excited, but then something happened, right? And this is truly what happened to me. As I previously mentioned, I enjoy what I used to do. I enjoy my work. I enjoy all these things. But somehow, all the things that I was doing, in my career and as a business marketer, when I was a coach. But there's something that I couldn't understand. There's something missing. I couldn't find fulfillment, despite that I was moving from one job to another, despite that I was like opening, closing so many businesses. I found some fulfillment, but I didn't find the fulfillment, right? And I work with women, same as how I used to be and how I used to feel. They'll feel like the job that once felt meaningful now feel empty, or if it's not a business that once they love begins to feel draining, it takes so much of their time. They don't really enjoy the mechanic of it, or even the logistic of all being a business owner, being a boss, it requires so much from them. They don't enjoy that anymore. Or a routine that once, thrived in now feels suffocating, like I used to do this. And yes, at some point I felt alive, but now I feel completely dead inside and there's something missing, right? So this routine does not serve me anymore. Or success no longer feel like success anymore. It just feel like pressure, right? And I think sometimes, we look like we are successful from the outside, but from the inside, we are literally dying. It's like I wish, the life that I'm living is not the life that I'm living. I'm completely tired. I am exhausted. I I don't feel, the enjoyment anymore. If even I enjoy it, at some point, it's not serving me. And this loss of fulfillment is not a sign of failure. It is a spiritual indicator of transition. And this is what I was mentioning in my video number one from this series, is like we should not see this as a weakness or we failed or we didn't plan correctly. No, all this was part of the plan. The only thing that we need to acknowledge is like this is the end of the season and we need to move forward. Okay. So I love this scripture from the book of Isaiah, chapter 43, verse 19. And it says, Behold, I'm doing a new thing, and do you not perceive it? Right. So the thing is like you have to be, like I mentioned previously, very spiritually discerned and sensitive to understand what God is doing and where God is moving you. Okay. Because sometimes we may feel like, oh, we fell in regards to the business that we launched or the job that we've been in for so many years because what did I even gain from this job, from these 15 years of being in this job? I wasted my time. Sometimes we have this kind of thought coming into our mind, but I'm here to tell you that all this isn't part of the plan. It's like God is just doing a new thing. God, I mean, the Bible, I think in the book of Ecclesiastes, say there is a seasons for everything, right? There is a seasons to cry, there is seasons to mourn, there's a seasons to plant, there's a seasons to sow, there's a seasons to like to feel joyful. There is seasons for everything. And this season for you that comes to an end is basically expressing itself. The end is expressing itself through a burnout, through feeling unfulfilled, fulfilling that there is a void within yourself, right? Is like I said, the soul is crying and say, I want to level up, right? So God rarely announced transition with trumpets blast, He announced them usually with discomfort, with frustration, with discontent, with misalignment, with new desires. And this is the beauty of God, like sometimes we just wonder, but why do we have to go for darkness so then we can enjoy the beauty of God? Well, we need to go for darkness because darkness will birth a strong desire, and this strong desire is for you to actually like be in a place of light. And you can't actually like have this desire of wanted light if you already are in the light, right? So you need to be first in this opposite, I will say feeling or stages of consciousness. So then you can actually birth desire. And then this desire is basically the getaway to for you to actually move from one place to another. So it's not like I say, like it's not a walk in the park. And I mentioned that so many times, like when you go through this spiritual awakening journey, it's not a walk in the park. It's not like happy jolly. It comes with discomfort, with frustration, with misalignment, because God is like, I want you to go through the worst so then you can experience fully and appreciate fully the best. Okay. So these are divine signals saying, Queen, the grace for this season is lifting. I'm moving you forward. I want you to move forward. I want you to, like transition, transcend, ascend, right? And this is what God is doing currently in your life. If you are going through that right now, if you are going through this emotion right now. So God redirect through discomfort, not just confirmation. Okay. And this is what I'm going to review with you today. So the key concept is like redirection often looks like disruption. We assume God's leading will feel peaceful, but in scripture, God often led his people through disruption. We see that through Exodus with the Israelites. Like I was mentioning in my first video, like the Israelite was, I mean, they were in living in the best place in Egypt. And why God didn't just say, okay, I'm moving you from this nice place of Egypt and I'm actually giving you a better place. No, God actually like demoted them from the best place to a place of slavery. Like that is a big demotion from like living in the best place, living like kings and queens, and now being enslaved by the Egyptian, right? So disruption, dissatisfaction, sorry, stretching, divine eruption, interruption, closed doors, uncomfortable transition will definitely manifest themselves when you actually have to what? To transition, right? That's why I always say like we need to descend before we can ascend, right? And that is the whole story of the Bible, the fact that Satan descended, right? It was cast down. So then Jesus can ascend is all part of the process. It's all orchestrated by God, right? We were sitting at a certain period of our life. And now that we move from a higher level of consciousness, we are Jesus. Okay. So but that's gonna be explained in another video. But God is doing something very special, and this something special sometimes actually feel ugly. It's very not pleasing, like because God wants to make sure that you are experiencing the worst before experiencing the best, and this is disruption, right? So, and we saw that many times in the Bible, and there is biblical pattern of redirection, and we saw that like throughout the Bible, and mostly during the Old Testament. In the Old Testament, we can see that everywhere. We saw Abraham, who was told to leave everything familiar, to leave his mom and dad, to leave his tent, and is basically leaving his mother and father, is leaving a place of comfort, okay? A place of familiarity, okay? We saw that also with Moses, experiences dissatisfaction in Pharaoh's palace before God called him, right? And also asking him to be his mouthpiece when Moses can barely speak, you know, fluently, right? So this is dissatisfaction and this is discomfort, right? Why God chose Moses, who can barely speak correctly, to be his mouthpiece, right? And Moses was like, no, I think you got the wrong guy because I'm not good with my speech at all. And then Moses like refused God's invitation, and until God said, okay, you will actually like go with Aaron, your brother, and he will be your mouthpiece, okay? I will speak to you, Moses, but it's gonna be Aaron that will speak, okay? We saw that also with Ruth, that experienced loss before finding Boaz and destiny. So that was beautiful in the book of Ruth. And we saw that also with Paul, that felt blocked twice before being redirected to Macedonia, right? So it's not gonna be an easy walk. It's not gonna be like, oh, I found God and everything's gonna be good. Usually is gonna be a hurricane. You will lose friends. You will probably have to, like separate yourself from your partner. You will probably, be rejected at work. They're gonna fire you, maybe. You're gonna be probably experiencing many no's. Like you will be like, okay, they fire me. I'm gonna go and get a new job. No, everybody will gonna say no to you, okay? So this is part of the plan, and we just have to trust God throughout this journey. That is what it's all about. In the book of Proverbs chapter 29 verse 21, it says, many are the plans in a person's heart, but it is the Lord's purpose that prevail. And this is truly the illustration that what I just said. We can have many plans in our heart. Our heart is like, okay, I have the desire to launch this business. I have the desire to go after this job. I have the desire to relocate somewhere. But trust and believe that God's purpose will always prevail because God has a right destination for you. You may probably go around circle for many years, but trust and believe that God's plans always prevail. Because as I mentioned in my previous video, your life is already written. The book of your life is already written. So it doesn't matter the ways that you're going to take or planning to take, God will always bring you back to where you're supposed to go, okay? Because that is your destiny and you can do nothing about it, to be honest, okay? So sometimes the plan you outgrow are the ones God never meant to be permanent. Again, like I say, when it's a season, it is a season. So it's a temporary phase of your life that you will have to go through. And the real plan, the real, destiny is what is ahead of you. Okay. So we see that in so many in so many stories in the Bible, especially in the Old Testament, like I said, like we saw that with Joseph. Joseph's plan was not for him to what? To stay in a Pontifical palace as, his helper, right? No. What happened and Joseph has to leave was the encounter that he had with, Pontifica's wife. That was quite big for him. It was huge for him because what's happening? All of a sudden, like I'm now accused of rape, but I didn't do anything. And Joseph was sent to prison. He stayed there, I think, for 2 years until, like someone in the palace of Pharaoh remember him, and then he was brought basically to Pharaoh's palace and become second in command. But again, we can see that the road of Joseph was actually a rocky and bumpy road. It was not easy, right? He went, first of all, he was sold by his brother that first wanted to kill him. And secondly, because he was a dreamer. And then he was sold because they wanted to make money out of him. And then he actually like ended up being a slave. And then he actually ended up being in prison. And then he became second in command. And then, we know the rest of the story. But everything that happened to Joseph happened for a good reason. Okay. Everything that happened to him or for him, I would say, was just a season. The reason why his brother hated him so much, it was part of the plan. Okay. And actually, he actually like that came to his realization at the end that he said, whatever you meant for evil, God meant it for good. So even the people who did you wrong or are currently doing wrongs to you right now, trust and believe that they're in part of the plan, but they don't even know it. They don't even know it. They try to pull you down. They're trying to, like mistreated you, to speak bad about you, to like pull you down, but they don't know that if they are trying to pull you down, they're already below you anyway. So they are part of the plan. They are actually like part of your journey. And you have to be grateful for them, even though it's not like pleasant, right, at the time. So burnout as a sign of purpose and evolution. This is what I was saying, that burnout is truly the getaway of your elevation. You are not losing passion. You are not losing passion. Your assignment is evolving. Okay. We as human, we are growing. The main goal is actually to grow and to become, who God has called us to be, right? And many women assume, especially leaders in a very high ranking job, assume something is wrong when, like we don't have any we don't have the taste of life anymore. Like we used to pour so much into our job, into our 9 to 5, into our business, into our, even at home. But we just end up at some point like, you know what? I don't know if it's actually like I don't see the meaning of doing all these things. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? It's just a loss of excitement that's reflecting that it's time to move up. But losing passion often means God is shifting your purpose into a new phase. And truly, this is the phase that, again, I say is the sweet part, because it's like God is pivoting you to a new realms of the spirit, and I must say a higher realms of the spirit. And this is just beautiful. Okay. But it comes with it comes with his own way, right? So sign that your purpose is evolving. And tell me if you see yourself in it, because I saw myself in this honestly so many times during my spiritual journey, and even before my spiritual journey begins, right? So I feel like I was meant for more. I feel like there is so much that I can do, but I felt kind of confused because for me, like marketing was my thing, and it's still my thing. I love marketing, but I was like, what can I do more? Because it's not a new job, it's not a new career. I was a business coach in marketing. I loved it, but still, I didn't have the fulfillment. And I knew that I can do so much more. And I was so adamant to actually find my purpose at the time. You can't ignore the desire for deeper meaning, that's for sure. Your gift no longer fit where they used to. Okay. God has already in store everything within you, including the gift that you will use for a certain time and the gift that you will use for the next level of your life. Okay. You crave spiritual significance, not just success. Your spirit feels restless. You feel like empty. You feel like, yes, I've been going to church. I've been reading my Bible. I've been, going to Bible study. I've been to communion. I've been, like praying and, like praying in tongues and all these things. But you know that there is something more, like, and this is not happening to everyone. Some people are content to just go to church and read the Bible and, like go and celebrate Christ during Christmas and Easter. But let me tell you something, like when you have this strong desire, again, burnout birth strong desire. So if your desire is kind of, average, this is not a desire that God is trying to show you that is elevating you. It needs to be a burning desire. Like, you know what, you can't even understand. Like all of a sudden you want to just drop everything and just start to just like, I don't know, relocate somewhere because there's a calling somewhere, but you don't really know what. Or just like Peter and the other disciple, you are dropping everything and you're just like, you know what, I'm just gonna follow you, Christ. I don't even know you, but I'm just gonna follow you. I don't know how I'm gonna pay this, I'm gonna pay that, but that's okay. I know I'm gonna be fine with you. And you can't even explain that to people who be like, are you seriously quitting a job that was making you good money, that was giving you the lifestyle that you always wanted? You are quitting this for what? Yes, there's something that you can't explain. This is the burning desire that will come upon you. And you know that if you can't explain it, it's from God. So you are tired of performing and ready for purpose. That is true key. Like you are ready for purpose. You are not looking after a new, another job, right? You are not looking for approval. You're not looking for, looking good, you having another experience to look good on your CV. You don't even you don't care. You're like, I've done this, I'm done with this. I want purpose, I want destiny, I want to be fulfilled. All goals no longer satisfy you because you are birthing to your new self. You are becoming a new creation. Okay. So in the book of John, chapter 15, verse 2, it says, every branch that bears good fruit or bear fruit, he prunes that it may bear more fruit. Okay. So the branch, we have to remember the branch, and this is a scripture that Christ was saying, I am the vine and you are the branches, right? And the branches bear fruit, right? It prunes that it may bear more fruit. So the more you will actually bear in regards to the fruit of your spirit, the more you will produce. Like I was saying in my previous video, that you are becoming the source when you are transitioning from a place of being a carnal man to a place of becoming God himself and become the source. So you are now becoming the source that constantly are bearing fruit after fruit after fruit. You are becoming limitless. Okay. The source is becoming limitless. Instead of pouring from a source that is limited, that is you, that's why you are running out of everything, of breath, you are running out of, energy, of focus, of intention, of everything, because you are pulling from your own source, which is actually you. But when you become God, this source never run dry, right? You are becoming the well. So you're going to actually bear fruit after fruit after fruit after fruit. But burnout may be God pruning, the things that do not serve you anymore. Your schedules at work, in your business, with your friend, maybe the things that, you used to do, like, on autopilot, not anymore. Your relationship, your responsibilities, your whole identity, your whole vision do not serve you anymore. You used to be like, oh, you know what, that is my bucket list. I need to go and travel in these places. I need to promote myself. I mean, I need to be promoted to a new job. I need to earn a certain level of money. I need to do all these things. But now you look at this list and you're like, I'm not even interested to check the boxes, because what I'm interested to do, or actually to be, is purpose, to be freedom, to be peace, to be rest. You are more interested into acquiring or adopting new emotion than things. This is when your mind shifts from external to internal, right? Your old assignments do not serve you anymore because you have now leveling up in a new level of consciousness. You are not looking into things anymore. You have a new paradigm of how you actually see, you know, the world, how you see yourself first. Because when you see yourself first, you will see the world completely differently. Okay. You will elevate, your mindset elevate, everything elevates, and you will see yourself completely like when you when you step back and you basically remove yourself from the frame and you see and you're like, you know what, this is not the world I want to be a part of. This is truly the mindset. This is the new creation that eagerly wants to be birthed. You know, like in the book of Revelation, the creation is waiting eagerly to actually be birthed. And this is you. This new creation is yourself. Okay. So, if you are feeling burnout, dissatisfied, or overwhelmed, this is good. This is the signals that you are not actually breaking down, but you are breaking open. And this is the beauty of like coming out as a new creation. So it's not something that you should basically should be about or, feel like, I wasted my time, being in this job for 15 years and I just realized that this is not my purpose, or being with someone and just look back and just like, man, I gave 10, 15 years of my life with this person and I just feel like this person even like is not the person I want to be with, is absolutely fine. Because before you can actually experience light, you need to experience darkness. Okay. But you have to make sure that um that this darkness is temporary. Okay. So in regards to what I was mentioning, so God is shifting you from survival to purpose, because when we are in a place of um like we are misaligned with God's purpose, we are come to a place of like, I kind of exhausted all my resources. I changed job many times. I still don't find fulfillment. I probably like decided to move from one relationship to another. I still feel dissatisfied. I probably like, relocate somewhere and still there is something that is not like there's still this void that I actually experience within. So all this is normal because we are doing things externally instead of doing or actually like misaligning ourselves or aligning ourselves internally. So we are looking for external solution instead of trying to find the solution within. Okay, only God can actually like help you find fulfillment because he is your creator, and as you are the creation, you need to go back to the creator to find basically purpose. So from exhaustion to alignment, from striving to divine assignment, your frustration is not failure. Like I said, it's actually fuel. Okay. But do not disregard this because obviously you will be in a place of like, I feel like, like I mentioned, I wasted my time. You didn't waste your time. There's a time for everything. There's a time to be, like happy, jolly in our job. And there's a time when actually I feel like I need to level up and I don't think it's a new job that I need. I need purpose. Your restlessness is not confusion, it is actually a calling, okay? It is a calling, and your burnout is not an ending, it is a holy beginning. And this is truly when you start to like see the world differently. When people are chasing material things, which is there's nothing wrong with chasing material things, but you will actually like understand that at some point in your life there is deeper thing than that. And to really feel complete, you need something that is from the spirit and nothing that is actually coming from external world. No, you don't need something that is physical. You need something that is spiritual, and it is actually God. So I didn't want to make this video too long for this second part. The next part, the third video, I will actually like share with you how now can we truly like transition from burnout to having clarity about your purpose, and how to find alignment, how to adopt alignment, how to actually sorry feel fulfilled, how to where to find this fulfillment. I actually already mentioned it, but how to adopt this fulfillment in the way that God wants you to actually feel fulfilled, and to live in a place of prosperity and rest, and everything that is actually reflecting the image of God. So that will be actually shared in my third video of this three-part series. I think that's going to be the last one, or maybe not. I don't know. I will see. But if you need more help in regards, if you are a female entrepreneur, a mom entrepreneur, if you are a female executive, a female leader in your corporate world, if you are, I don't know, someone who again carries so many responsibilities and feel burnout now and truly want alignment, fulfillment, from now on, don't even wait next year. You can actually have it now. And if you truly resonate with what I'm sharing with you right now in this video, and the video based on this subject that is burnout and how to come out of it, there is actually a signal that you actually aspire for more, and God is leading you to a place of rest. And I have a community that I put together not long time ago. I'm so proud of this community, that I share everything basically to not experience burnout anymore, but be in a place of rest. In this community, I explain that you do not need a new business, you do not need a new career, you do not need, a new strategy to, feel fulfilled, a new marketing strategy to feel fulfilled, or things that, you think you may find from the world. No, you need God. And how to find God, I explain it in this community. The link to actually access this community is down this video. So if it's for you, go ahead. Let me tell you something. This community, I put everything that I receive as wisdom, as understanding, as knowledge through my entire experience throughout my spiritual journey. And I truly believe that it will help you if you really want to elevate spiritually in every single area of your life. And I also work as a coach, so I'm used to work with women who deal or dealt with so many responsibility and just want rest, because everybody deserves rest. And I'm sure if you are going through, a time where it's kind of difficult right now, you definitely deserve rest. Every single person deserves rest. Okay. But that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. And yes, if you like the video, leave your comment down below. So part 3 is coming. It will be published soon. I try to be consistent now on YouTube. So hopefully it will be, next week, or maybe this week. I don't know. I post on Wednesdays, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Sunday. So I'll try to make sure that, I have a certain calendar I can stick to, and make sure I remain consistent in my posting. So I don't promise anything, but I try to be consistent with my content and what I love to share, on social media, especially on YouTube with you. So guys, if you like the video, comment, and click the link below if you're interested to join the community. But in the meantime, I wish you a lovely day, a lovely evening, wherever you are, and I speak to you in the next video. Bye.